Hey, welcome back. That's funny. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is October 26th, 2024. Okay, so I see Zachary Hubbard's in the comments. And if you did pay that person that accused you of scamming, then you need to address it with him. He sent me a message and he asked me to put out the message on YouTube because supposedly you owe him money and you haven't paid him. Has nothing to do with me. I don't have to apologize. I didn't say anything in that video. A person in the community, a truth seeker, said that you owe him money. So you need to pay him. And if you did pay him, show us the proof. Okay, so I think the Yankees are going to get swept, you guys. And this is something that I spoke about the last live stream that I did. And it has everything to do with Vince Scully. Remember, Vince Scully died 117 days into the 2022 MLB season. And we know that's a big number with the Dodgers, right? In gematria, Dodgers equals 117. Notice the season started that year on April 7th. He died on August 2nd, 117 days after the season began. And what I was saying about this year is that if it ends on October 29th, which is Game 4, it will be here in the Bronx. I'm going to be at Yankee Stadium on October 29th. So if you guys are in New York City, well, the only way I'll be there if it's a 3-0 lead. If the Dodgers are up 3-0, I'm going to be at Yankee Stadium on October 29th educating some of the fans. I don't know if they're going to listen because these people are the worst type of people to communicate to. The Yankee fans are like the worst. But if the Dodgers have a 3-0 lead by October 29th, I'm going to be at Yankee Stadium. I'm going to have billboards. I'm going to have a camera team. I already spoke to a couple of people. And we're going to be teaching people about the death of Vince Scully, how it has everything to do with the World Series and why the Yankees are going to lose that on October 29th. If it goes through, if they do have a 3-0 lead. If the Yankees end up winning a game before that, then I'm not going to do it. Then it probably will go 7 games and end 120 days after Ohtani's birthday. But if the Dodgers win the next 3 games and Game 4 they have a 3-0 lead, I'm going to be at Yankee Stadium. So if you guys are in New York City, you want to join me, please let me know. Hit me up on Instagram at Simple Truth Television, and let's make this happen. Let's educate some of the fans on what's really going on in the MLB. Why Rudy May and Fernando Valenzuela really died just one day apart from each other, the 2 pitchers that went face-to-face in the 1981 World Series. Let's teach these people what's really going on. I mean, you got to ask yourself, like, I don't understand how this shit, like, these people are so fucking bold with the shit that they do. How the hell do they sacrifice 2 players who went against each other in the 1981 World Series? You guys have to understand, that's like LeBron and Steph Curry dying a day apart, right before the Cavaliers are about to play the Warriors in the NBA Finals. That's like the equivalence to that. I don't understand how this happens and people don't even question it. Like Rudy May and Fernando Valenzuela, they went head to head. Those were the 2 starting pitchers in the 1981 World Series. How the hell do they die right before the Yankees play the Dodgers in the World Series and people don't even raise an eyebrow about that? That is fucking unbelievable. Unfucking believable. And of course he died at the age of 80 because Yankees equals 80. But again, from the death of Vince Scully to Game 4 is 117 weeks. And remember, he died at the age of 94. 94 has the same gematria as World Series. This is probably the reason the Yankees won 94 games this season. It was tribute to Vince Scully. Crazy. It's crazy. This shit is... And it's like they get bolder and bolder and bolder and bolder. Yeah, a lot of you keep criticizing me on picking the Mets. Let me refresh you guys what the Mets did. The ritual with the Mets. Yeah, the Mets didn't go to the World Series, but what we were saying is how it was all connected to Donald Trump. A lot of you don't have a fucking brain and not able to see the obvious. Why did the Dodgers eliminate the Mets on October 20th? It wasn't because racial slur equals 156, call me kinfolk. That wasn't the reason. You see, a lot of you think because you picked the right team that you know what you're doing. You can pick the wrong team to win, and you still can be, and you can still solve what the ritual is. And that's what we did. We solved what the ritual was, but we still didn't get the team right. That's okay. A lot of you think that because somebody picked the Dodgers to beat the Mets, that somehow that means that they know what they're doing. No. Call me kinfolk. He said the Dodgers were going to beat the Mets. But the reason he gave was because racial slur equals 156. And the Dodgers were like 14-6 at home in the postseason. Some shit like that. Some random stat. And he connected that to racial slur. That doesn't mean he knows what he's doing. A lot of you think that, oh, he got it right. Oh yeah, call me kinfolk. I made a lot of money. Thank you. That doesn't mean he knows what the fuck he's doing. He wasn't exposing anything. The reason the Dodgers beat the Mets on October 20th, it was all synced up with Donald Trump. It was his 129th day of his age. New York Mets and New York City both equate to 129. Donald Trump had a commercial with Grimace, the McDonald's mascot, back in 2002. And the Mets get eliminated from the postseason on the day that Donald Trump is working at McDonald's. You see how it's all connected? So we was on the right track, but we didn't solve the ritual, because the ritual this year, it's a big tribute to Vince Scully, something that Gematria Defect News hasn't said anything about. He hasn't brought up Vince Scully in none of his presentations. He's talking about a fucking 147, the run differential of 147, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, 147 is a big number with the World Series. But is that what the World Series is about this year? No. The World Series last year was not about 147. It was about George Bush in 119. So stop telling people that 147 means that a team is going to go to the World Series. That is bullshit. That is not true. We knew that it was 147 days after Dave Roberts' birthday. But that wasn't enough. You see, if I had this piece, when I opened up my phone line, when I opened up the phone line and I let the people call in, if somebody would have called in and told me, like, look, you should look into Vince Scully's death and how it's synced up with Game 4 of the World Series this year, then I would have put all the pieces together and I would have got it right. But I didn't have this. This was the major piece that I was missing. I didn't know that Fernando Valenzuela and Rudy May was going to die. I didn't know that. So I was looking at the people that had already died, like Willie Mays and the 4 players from the Miracle Mets. You see? They do sacrifice players in connection to the team that's going to be in the World Series. We just saw that with the two baseball players that died, the 2 pitchers who went against each other in 1981 World Series. They died a couple of days before the World Series started. You see, that's what those are the type of clues that we look for. The ritual sacrifices. Vince Scully, for example, another ritual sacrifice. See, we were looking at the wrong ritual sacrifices. I was like, what the hell? Why would they sacrifice Willie Mays this year? And I'm pretty sure Willie Mays' death, it will be synced up with the World Series either the next year or the year after. They don't just sacrifice these people for no reason. Look at the year that they sacrificed Vince Scully. This was back in 2022. And now, 2 years later, is when they're paying tribute to this man in a major ritual. You see? So this is why sometimes this stuff can be misleading, and that's why sometimes we get stuff wrong. But just because you get the winning team incorrect, that doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing, that the games are not rigged, that you're not a good decoder. I am an expert decoder. Who else taught you about the connection with Trump and the Mets and how it's synced up with Grimace? Nobody else did that. I did. Yeah, I was wrong about the World Series, but look at that. On the day that Donald Trump is working at McDonald's, that's the day the Mets get eliminated? I don't get no credit for that. Nobody says, oh, good job, Arthur. Nobody's going to say that. Only the haters are going to come around and say, oh, I thought you said the Mets. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Comey Kinfolk had the Dodgers because racial slurs 156. Yesterday's score 6-3 or 3-6. Mockery. Speaking of 63, how old was Fernando Valenzuela when he passed away? Wasn't he 63 years old? What does Major League equal? What does Major League Baseball equal? What does Dodgers equal forwards and backwards? Doesn't it equal 36 like yesterday's score? And how long ago did Kirk Gibson hit the walk-off home run while limping from his ankle? Wasn't that 36 years ago? Yeah, we don't know what we are doing over here. We don't know what we're doing. Yeah, we are making all these connections. We're making all these connections. You know, I'm the reason this community is still afloat. If it wasn't for me, this community would have been sunk. Because a lot of the information that goes viral comes from me. That's why I get so upset. A lot of you would have never knew about the Dick Buckets riddle with that game that was synced up with his name. That came from me. That's why I get so upset, because people steal my information and go publish it on their channel and nobody knows where it really came from. Look at the final score yesterday, 3-6. 3-6. And this is the funny part, right? They're willing to tell you all this shit because they know people are fucking retarded. They don't have the MLB has no problem telling people what the ritual was. Let's go to the MLB's Instagram page. This was 36 years ago. Tell me if this looks familiar.
And all year long, he answered the demands until he was physically unable to start tonight with 2 bad legs.
Isn't that what they said yesterday about Freddie Freeman? How about he was limping off one leg and all he has to do is just get a base hit because he can limp to first base?
Hamstring and the swollen right knee. And with 2 out, you talk about a roll of the dice. This is it. If he hits the ball on the ground, I would imagine he would be running 50% to first base. So the Dodgers trying to catch lightning right now.
Look, of course, this was in 1981. I wasn't even born. Of course, they have to tell you that, the pitcher, he hasn't allowed a home run since August 24th, which is 824, the numbers that Kobe Bryant used to wear. He hasn't allowed a home run. I hope he doesn't do it now.
Fouled away. He was, complaining about the fact that with the left knee bothering him, he can't push off. Well, now he can't push off and he can't land.
He's going to use all arms. Look at his crowd on its feet.
Fouled away again.
And he's standing on an outside corner.
He's such a great player. He was limping from his leg and he still hit the ball.
Both fastballs that kind of tail away at the outside part. Hasse is not even flirted with the inside part of that plate. Plenty deep in the outfield and a lot of room. They're playing him straight away in center field.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Little nubber fouled. And it had to be an effort to run that far. Gibson was so banged up, he was not introduced. Ball 1. And a throw down to first. Davis just did get back.
14 fastballs in a row. That's all he's been throwing.
There goes Davis. And it's fouled away. So Mike Davis, who had stolen 7 out of 10 and carrying the tying run, was on the move. 2-2. Mike Scioscia can only sit now and sweat it out. There he goes. Way outside. He's stolen it. Sachs waiting on deck, but the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
Crazy. 36 years ago. Now here it is. Yesterday.
Delivers. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Gibby, meet Freddie. Game 1 of the World Series.
Gibby, meet Freddie.
Speaking of Gibson, yesterday the World Series started 150 days after his birthday, and World Series is 150 like Illuminati. But yeah, the MLB, they tell you all this stuff. Just people don't catch on because people are too busy celebrating and getting mocked. Too busy getting a dick shoved up your ass. You're not paying attention. All these people hitting me up. Oh man, did you see the game last night? Oh, yes, I saw the fucking game. It was fucking disgusting to watch. And the score is 3-6. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Look at this. History repeats itself. Hashtag World Series. Of course, number 23, right? What's the numerology of 23? Isn't it 5? Freddie Freeman, number 5. Gibby, meet Freddie. Yeah, nobody fucking notices shit. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. But yeah, game 4, 117 weeks after the death of Vince Scully. I'm telling you, I don't believe it either that it's gonna end in 4. I mean, how the Yankees not gonna win in the Bronx? But it is rigged, and the numbers is what matters. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a sweep, to be honest, because remember in 1963, like the score yesterday, the Dodgers swept the Yankees, so it could happen again. It could happen again. Here it is. Dodgers 4, Yankees 0, 1963. Let's watch some of those highlights. See if we pick up anything. Oh no, this is 40 minutes. We can't. Yeah, but if you guys want to watch this video, this is 40 minutes. I'm not gonna watch this 40-minute video. I'll probably watch it later tonight. While everybody's watching the game, I'm watching history because this history repeats itself. So you guys are watching the present, I'm watching the past, and it's the same thing. So I'm gonna link this video in the chat if you guys want to watch it, and see if we pick up any clues in that game. Because that's probably this season is supposed to is synced up with all the past Yankee Dodger World Series from the 1981 when Rudy May went against Fernando Valenzuela to 1963 when the Yankees got swept to all the other championships that these two teams played against each other. These two teams are the Boston Celtics and the Lakers of the MLB. Because this was I think this is the 21st time these two teams match up, right? I think doesn't no, it's not. It's actually the Lakers that's 21. I knew Los Angeles had a 21 connection. I think Los Angeles Dodgers does have a 21, but it's a 73. 73 the 21st prime. Yeah, so obviously if they're gonna sweep, that means they're gonna win tonight, right? But again, this is just a narrative. Doesn't mean that it's not, I'm not gonna use the word guarantee because it's not guaranteed. Because Game 7 is still a possibility, just like how Game 6 is. And that's why I've been telling you guys that I'm gonna take one game at a time. But again, if the Dodgers win the first 3 games, Game 4, if you live in New York City, please, if you can, I'm gonna be at Yankee Stadium probably like 2 hours before the game. If you guys want to join us, I'm going to make an announcement before, after, obviously. But if you guys want to join us, let me know on Instagram at Simple Truth Television if you're in New York City. And let's wake up some of these sheeple. They need to know about the ritual sacrifices, the mockery that's going on. And if they still want to support these leagues, then so be it. But I think they should know, because this stuff is getting more blatant day by day. More blatant day by day. I mean, sacrificing Rudy May and Fernando Valenzuela just 3 days before the World Series is obviously the worst mockery that, I'll always say that this is the worst mockery, but I think this was actually, is up there as well in the top 10. It's up there in the top 10. And if it does end in Game 4, wouldn't that be something? So, yeah, Zachary Hubbard, please pay RC his money. He got everything right last week in the NFL. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for watching.